What's up, everyone? Zariel here, and welcome to a structure deck review. Here we're going to be reviewing the structure deck of Synchron Extreme. Now, before I get started, I just want to say that I have not had internet for nearly 5 weeks, and I haven't been active in Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I haven't had internet for about like a good 3 weeks, but I haven't been active in Yu-Gi-Oh for about like a good five. Now, I remember doing some card reviews, some individual card reviews of some of the new cards that will be introduced in Synchron Extreme. However, I do not remember which cards exactly that I did card reviews on. So, in this video, what I'm going to do card reviews, or I'm going to review each of the new cards that are being introduced into the game through Synchron Extreme. So forgive me if I review a card that I already did an individual card review on or anything like that. You know, I haven't been active in Yu-Gi-Oh, and pretty much I just don't remember. So, Structure Deck Synchron Extreme. It is the 28th deck in the OCG Structure Deck series following Hero Strike, which came out not too long ago. It features a deck focused on synchro summons, hence the name Synchron Extreme, including a record-setting 10 cards that will become the new power of synchro summoning, and reprinted cards inside the deck meets the players of both new and old. It contains 44 cards in total, 4 for the extra deck. The number of each cards of each rarity are as shows. They don't even show it. So, and the release date for this is next Saturday on December 6th. So, next Saturday, this is going to be out in the OCG and, of course, on Dueling Network for the people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! On there. You guys are going to be able to use these new cards. So, again, I'm going to review each of the new cards, not the old ones. I haven't been active in Yu-Gi-Oh! So forgive me if I click on a card that I'm unfamiliar with because I've been out of the loop for so long that I just don't remember. Um, so, first off, we got Jet Synchron. I believe this is a new card. Um, it is new. Jet Synchron. It is a fire machine tuner effect monster, level 1, attack 500, defense 0. Description: if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can add one junk monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use one Jet Synchron effect per turn and only once that turn. So, Jet Synchron, a new tuner monster that has the ability to special summon itself, but it gets banished. They kind of do this with cards like I think the name of that monster is a Plague Spreader Zombie. Again, I haven't been active in Yu-Gi-Oh, so I don't remember the names of a lot of these monsters by heart. So forgive me if I get the name wrong. Um, but yeah, I think Plague Spreader Zombie is one of the monsters that have an effect that's similar to this, where like you're able to get it on the field, but then it's banished once it leaves the field. But a good thing about this card is not only does it have ways to get back on the field once it hits the graveyard, but it's also able to get a search off if you use it as an exceed material. Wow, wow, as a synchro material. Excuse me. I really don't know where exceed came from, but yeah, if you use it as a synchro material, like you're able to get that search off, and you'll be able to get a junk monster from your deck to your hand. Now, which junk monster would be your main target? Um, I would say Junk Synchron, maybe. Just the only reason why I say that is because you can have yourself like another tuner to use. Because I believe they're introducing a new monster, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I did an individual card review on that monster. But of course, I'm going to look at it in this video, only just to refresh my memory. But I believe that it was level 10, which would pretty much make sense if it actually is level 10. Because I don't remember. Because like Junk Synchron, I mean not Junk Synchron, but Junk Warrior is level 5, and if that's the case right there, then using this won't be as difficult because I think Junk Warrior is going to be the new focus when it comes to this deck. So just get a level 4 monster out, and you know, there you go. Get this back on the field. Uh, um, Synchro summon into Junk Warrior, and you'll be able to get that search off to get another Junk monster from your main deck. So Jet Synchron. Next up, we have Quick Draw Synchron. No, Drill Synchron. I think Drill Synchron is new. Is it? No, no, no. This ain't a new one. Again, forgive me. I've been out of the loop. Quillbolt Hedgehog. I'm pretty sure that's old. Scrap Fist. Okay. All right. So this is a new card. Uh, it is a quick play spell card. Description: target one Junk Warrior you control. This turn, if it battles an opponent's monster, apply these effects. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Double any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving it. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Destroy that opponent's monster at the end of the damage step. So this pretty much was what I was talking about just a few seconds ago. It seems like Junk Warrior is going to be the new focus, or like one of the main focuses of this build. One of the main focuses of this build is getting Junk Warrior out, and this kind of whole and seeing this card, it kind of makes that statement true somewhat, because why would they give Junk Warrior its own individual card that gives it all these bonus effects, like 5 different bonus effects, if they didn't want you to focus on that monster? So it holds true, but you get a lot for this, a lot. So, we, so I guess it's safe to say that Junk Warrior price is going to go up, pretty much. So, what, what we got next? Limit Overdrive. Um, Limit Overdrive. It's a quick play spell card. Description: return one tuner monster and one non-tuner. Return one tuner synchro monster and one non-tuner synchro monster you control from the extra deck. Special summon. Wait, hold on. Return one tuner synchro monster and one non-tuner synchro monster you control to the extra deck. Special summon one synchro monster from your extra deck whose level is equal to the combined level of those two return monsters, ignoring its summoning conditions. So basically, with Limit Overdrive, you're able to get out synchro monsters that require 3 or more materials. So for cards like Red Nova Archfiend, I believe that's the name of that monster, and Shooting Quasar Dragon, you should be able to get those out a lot easier using this. Considering that you would have those in your extra deck already, your deck is already, or at least your deck should be geared towards getting those monsters out through synchro summoning without having to use this. But if something happens and you know, can't synchro summon for that turn, like for whatever reason, like if your opponent stops you from synchro summoning using any one of those monsters, I guess you can use this as like a backup to like kind of bypass that. And even though it won't count as a synchro summon, you'll still be able to get the synchro monster on the field. So yeah, so now I can't remember the effects of Nova Dragon Archfiend, or like Red Nova Dragon Archfiend, or whatever the hell that card's name is. But with Shooting Star, or like with Shooting Quasar Dragon, the only downside is that, if I remember correctly, that the monster, when it's synchro summoned, gains attacks, or it gains additional attacks based on the number of non-tuner synchro monsters that were used to uh to synchro summon it to the field. And if you use this, of course, it won't gain those extra attacks. But with that being said, it's not gonna lose its ability to special summon that Shooting Star Dragon from your extra deck. So you still have that going for you. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with Nova Archfiend Dragon, or Nova Dragon Archfiend. Or, damn it, I really need to look up the name of that damn monster. But but yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with that. Like it's like you may lose something, but you're gonna still have but pretty much just the main focus of this card is to be able to get those monsters out a hell of a lot easier. Because getting two tuners on the field can be a challenge for anybody, unless you just have like a build that you structured that can help you get those tuner monsters out and that non-tuner monster out quicker. So yeah, it could be a challenge for anybody. So this is a good card, real good. And when they said that they were going to be putting cards in here, that were going to be, excuse me, just got through eating. But when they said they were going to be putting new cards in here, that was going to be the new focus of synchro summoning, that was one of them. So it's not bad, not bad at all. So next up we got Starlight Junction. And it's a field spell card. Description: you contribute one tuner monster, special summon one synchron monster from your deck with a different level than the tributed monster. If you special summon a synchron monster from your extra deck during your opponent's turn, target one card on the field, shuffle it into the deck. You can only use each effect of Starlight Junction once per turn. Alright, bet. So this is basically getting people to use Steam Synchron. Steam Synchron is basically like the main deck version of Formula Synchron. You know, it's a level 3 water attributes Synchron tuner monster. So, but it also has the effect to where you'll be able to synchro summon during your opponent's main phase 1. So that contributes to this field spell card's um, second effect. So that would be, so Steam Synchron would be your main target if you're trying to use this field spell card in all of its effects. So I guess if you have like a tuner monster on the field, which would be like another Synchron monster if you're running this structure deck, that you don't need, or if you're preparing to use its second effect during your opponent's main phase 1, you should, your main focus should be getting out Steam Synchron with this card's effect. So, like, you tribute that Synchron monster, you get out Steam Synchron, and you just synchro summon during your opponent's turn. Just make sure that you have another monster on the field to synchro summon with, with Steam Synchron. But yeah, like they're trying to get you to use more of Steam Synchron, and that can go towards cards like Junk Warrior, of course, and or just anything else that you feel like synchro summoning into. So yeah, there you go. Use terraforming to search for it. Planetary Pathfinder if you can fit it in there somewhere. Yeah, so Stardust Warrior. I think this is like the new monster. Wait a minute. Scrap Iron Statue. I think this is an old card. Oh, no. Okay, I was thinking about Scrap Iron Scarecrow when I seen this for some reason. Okay, but Scrap Iron Statue. It's a normal trap card. Description: when the effect of a face-up spell trap card your opponent controls is activated, destroy that card. Also, after that, set this card face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one junk monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense position. You can only use each effect of Scrap Iron Statue once per turn. So, this is like a reusable MST, or more rather, like a reusable Dust Tornado. I guess that would be a more accurate comparison, considering that it's a trap card. But still, you know, in a way, it's pretty much like a reusable Mystical Space Typhoon. Now, for the people that don't really understand how negations work, if you activate this card, right, in response to your opponent's spell or trap card activating, it won't negate the effect of that card. Let's just get that clear. Because people, they were doing, like, I don't know, like for a while, it was like this idiocy going on with Mystical Space Typhoon, where people thought that somehow Mystical Space Typhoon negated the effects of the card that was activated during their opponent's turn. All it does is it destroys the card. The card gets destroyed. Like, it's not just sent to the graveyard like normally after it's used. This card just destroys it, but it does not stop the effect. So, with that being said, if your opponent activates a card that destroys a spell or trap card on your side of the field, and you activate this in response to it, then you won't negate that effect, but the card will still be considered to be destroyed. So that's all that's happening. Now, it's some cards in the game that can benefit from you destroying your opponent's spells or trap cards. I can't remember the name of the cards off top of my head, but they're in the game. So maybe you'll be able to use that in combination with this. And on top of that, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you'll be able to special summon a junk monster from your graveyard. This includes any junk monster. So it can be a junk synchro monster like Junk Berserker, Junk Archer, like Junk Gardener, Junk Warrior, which I would say be your main focus to maintain that monster on the field. But of course, any junk monster, you'll be able to get it out because there's no level specifications as to what you can or can't get out. So, I mean, now unless the monster has an effect where it says it can't be special summoned by other ways, or it can't be special summoned from the graveyard, etc., then that's the monster. But just based on this effect, you'll be able to summon any junk monster from the graveyard. Synchro, non-synchro, it doesn't matter. Okay. So, moving on from that, we got Stardust Warrior, which I think is the face of this structure deck. What I have now... okay, Stardust Warrior. It's a Wind Warrior Synchro Effect Monster. Level 10. Okay, so it is level 10 like I was mentioning earlier. Attack 3000, defense 2500. Description: one tuner synchro monster plus one or more non-tuner synchro monsters. During each player's turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, you can tribute this card, negate the special summon, and if you do, destroy that monster or monsters. During the end phase, if this effect was activated this turn and was not negated, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. If this card was destroyed by battle, or if this face-up card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect and is still in your possession, You can special summon one level 8 or lower warrior synchro monster from your extra deck. This special summon is treated as a synchro summon. Ooh. Anyway. So there's like a good 31, if I'm not mistaken, because I did look at it ahead of time. Actually, I was looking at it earlier, like before I even looked at this card again. But if I'm not mistaken, it's at least like 31 uh, different warrior level 8 or lower synchro monsters. Level 8 or lower warrior synchro monsters. My bad. Yeah, like it's at least like 31 of those. Like the most of which are like X Sabers, but nevertheless, uh, yeah, like it's like a good bit of them. The junk, synchro monsters like Junk Warrior, Junk Archer, uh, Junk Berserker. Yeah, like all of those are good choices. Of course, um, the X Sabers again. Uh, I can't remember the name of none of the X Sabers, so forgive me. But like a good handful of the X Saber synchro monsters. Those are level 8 or lower. This monster, um, yeah. So without getting too sidetracked, because I was getting kind of lost there for a minute. This is pretty much like the anti-special summon version of like, well, no, no, no. Well, yeah, like it's like the anti-special summon version of Stardust Dragon, where when Stardust Dragon, um, it tributes itself to prevent uh, um, card destruction. This one prevents special summons, and both of which can special summon themselves back from the graveyard. And like the only difficult part with this, I would say, is just getting it out. But seeing how much you get, like the summoning requirements does match the effects, which makes it fair and balanced, in my opinion. It takes one tuner synchro monster, which would be like Formula Synchro, and um, I can't think of any other tuner synchro monsters. I think it was a TG Wonder Magician. I think that's another one. Forgive me, I haven't been again. I haven't been active in the game for like 5 weeks. I can't remember like the names as vividly as I once could. So because I haven't been active, so I don't remember their names by heart. But I think that's one of the tuner synchro monsters. I think uh, TG Dragonfly. That's another tuner synchro monster. And pretty much if you can get like one, well, no, because it says one or more non-tuner synchro monsters. So they have to be synchro monsters that aren't tuners. Like I want to say Junk Synchron. Well, why do I keep saying Junk Synchron? Like I want to say that Junk Warrior could be one of those monsters because like that's 5 levels right there. And considering that this build has cards that are kind of pushing you towards using Junk Warrior a lot more, I would say that would be one of the cards right there that you can use to get this out. And on top of the fact that Stardust Warrior is just like an evolved form of Junk Warrior, still like that's something else that contributes to that. So like, I don't know what card combinations you would use in order to get this out because everything would have to be a synchro monster plus one tuner synchro monster. Hmm. I mean, I guess if you were to use something like Limit Overdrive, like that's something that can get it out, right? But even then, you would still need um, a tuner synchro monster and a non-tuner synchro, right? Well, with Limit Overdrive, if I'm not mistaken. I just looked at this damn card, so I don't know why the fuck I don't remember this. But of course, let's take a quick look back at it. Let's say return one tuner. Yeah, okay, so like return one tuner synchro monster and one non-tuner synchro monster you control to the extra deck. Yeah, so I guess you can in the event that your opponent prevents you from synchro summoning. Um, yeah, so I guess you'll be able to use that. But then, if you have those materials, because you need a tuner synchro and a non-tuner synchro in order to use limit overdrive anyway. So in theory, you should already have what you need to synchro summon the monster to the field. But I don't know. Like I just can't think of anything off the top of my head. I haven't been active in the game for so long that I just forget. Like I lost a lot of the knowledge that I was there. Like I'm really gonna have to get back in the habit of researching cards. So let me go like to tips to see if tips has anything. Normally I don't go to tips, but no, like they don't even have the list of monsters that you'll be able to synchro someone with it. So, well, at least I knew that. So, um, yeah, but I think Junk Warrior is gonna have a place in getting this guy out, considering that you need a non-tuner synchro, which Junk Warrior is, and the deck is kind of pushing you towards using Junk Warrior a lot more. What else? Tuner sync, a tuner synchro monster. The only ones that come to mind is Formula Synchron, which is level 2, TG Wonder Magician, which I think is a level 4, and you also have like TG Dragonfly, which I think is level 2 or level 3. So those are like the only things that come to mind. And even then, like level 5, yeah, like even with Wonder Magician, like that's only 9 levels. You need 10 levels for this. So I don't know, man. Like this one is a doozy. I don't know. Like maybe if I keep going, looking at the cards, maybe something will come up. So, Stardust Warrior, Jet Warrior. Like, did we look at this already? Oh no. Okay, so this is a new synchro monster as well. All right, Jet Warrior. It's a fire warrior synchro effect monster, level 5, attack 2100, defense 1200. Description: Jet Synchron plus one or more non-tuner monsters. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one level 2 or lower monster. Special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Jet Warrior once per turn. Okay, so this is the card that Jet Synchron is synchro summoning into. So not only do you have Junk Warrior now, man, my throat is hurting doing all this talking. Um, but you have Jet Warrior, what I'm saying, because both of which is level 5. And not only that, but you're able to get this back on the field a lot easier. So it's not difficult at all. Um, so yeah, for some reason I was hoping this was going to be like a tuner monster. Um, unless there's a way to turn it into a tuner monster that I haven't looked at yet. But nevertheless, it's a very useful synchro monster. You know, has a decent attack. You're able to get it from the field with minimal effort. Tributing one level 2 or lower monster. Of course, that could be Star Eater Ladybug for all you know. Level 2 or lower, right? You better switch something from the graveyard, or now that I think about it, you can go into an Exceed summon, and you can use Black and White Wave and banish something from your opponent's side. So yeah, man. Jet Warrior level 1, just get a level 4 monster out and you're good to go. I mean, Jet Synchron is level 1. Get her level 4 monster out and you'll be ready to go. Alright, next up, you have Excel Synchron. Okay, this is another one. And this is a motorbike. This thing has a wheel for a penis, but nothing wrong with that. It's a Dark Machine Synchro Tuner Effect Monster level 5. Attack 500, defense 2100. Description: one tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you can send one Synchron monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then activate one of these effects. Increase this card's level by the level of the monster sent to the graveyard by this effect. Reduce this card's level by the level of the monster sent to the graveyard by this effect. During your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. This is a quick effect. You can only synchro summon Excel. You can only synchro summon Excel Synchron once per turn. Okay, so they're only allowing one time to summon this per turn. You can only summon this monster once per turn. So yeah, let's see. All right, so looking at this, it has no specific summoning requirements, and just like I was saying with Jet Warrior, that I was hoping that it was a tuner monster. Pretty much like my prayer's been answered. The very next card I look at. So you have a level 5 tuner synchro monster that can go. This goes right to Stardust Warrior. It goes right to Stardust Warrior, which is phenomenal. And in the event that you summon another synchro monster, which I don't think you would anyway, that isn't level 5, and say like it's like a few levels shy of what you need in order to get out Stardust Warrior or any other monster that you are trying to synchro summon into, then of course you'll be able to send a Synchron monster from your deck to your graveyard, and you'll be able to add or reduce those levels of Excel Synchron, and you'll be able to get that monster out. So really good. I mean, you can even use Jet Synchron for this, which is great. And with Jet Warrior being able to special summon itself from the graveyard, if you get this on the field, then you'll be able to, you know, of course, if you have like a level 2 or lower monster on the field, you'll be able to tribute that monster, get Jet Synchron out, since Jet Synchron level 5, Excel Synchron level 5. That that goes into Stardust Warrior right there. Plus, this can be you can synchro summon during your opponent's main phase. And if I'm not mistaken, that's going to activate Starlight Junction. But I think with Starlight, no. I think with Starlight Junction, that has to happen after the first effect is used. Or, let me take a look at Starlight Junction, because I don't remember exactly, but I believe that you should be able to activate its second effect. Yeah, okay, yeah, like you would be able to use its second effect, because it doesn't specify that, the first effect has to happen prior to using this second effect. So, yeah, it would work. If you special summon during your opponent's turn, then you'll be able to bounce a card off the field. So, Excel Synchron will go right to that. So, that's good. Um, Drunk Warrior, we have that. Rush Warrior, I think this is a new card. Rush Warrior, which seems like it would be an evolved form of Speed Warrior. I think that's the name of that monster. Um, but yeah, it's a Wind Warrior effect monster, level 2, attack 300, defense 1200. Description: during damage calculation in either player's turn, if a warrior synchron monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, double that monster's attack during that damage calculation only. You can only banish this card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Synchron monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Rush Warrior once per turn. Very helpful. You can recycle the Synchron monsters that you need. Um, of course, if you pick a Synchron tuner or like a Synchron Synchro monster, then of course that goes back to the extra deck. But still, man, I mean, this thing is like Speed Warrior as a hand trap, pretty much. It's Speed Warrior as an attack booster for your monster, uh, for your warrior synchro monster, Jet Warrior, Junk Warrior, Junk Berserker, or any other warrior synchro monster that has nothing to do with the archetype that it's primarily supporting because of the structure deck that it's in. So, like, what else? Um, and this can happen during either player's turn, so it doesn't even matter really when you use it. It happens in either player's turn, so you'll be able to search it out with Reinforcement of the Army, of course, being the main card. And I think it's a couple. No, well, yeah, you'll be able to get it from the graveyard with Junk Synchron, and that can go right towards Junk Warrior, or even Excel Synchron, or even Jet. Well, no, Jet Warrior can only use Jet Synchron as a tuner. So yeah, there you go. Um, so there you go. So moving on, Rush Warrior. What else we have? Speed Warrior, like we just talked about. Rush Warrior and Speed Warrior. Synchron Carrier. Um, it is a Earth Machine effect monster, level 2, attack 0, defense 1000. During your main phase, well, description. During your main phase, you can normal summon one Synchron monster. In addition to your normal summoner set, you can only gain this effect once per turn. If another Synchron monster or monster is sent to your graveyard as synchro material for the synchro summon of a warrior machine type synchro monster, a warrior or machine type synchro monster, you can special summon one Synchron token, machine type Earth level 2, attack 1000, defense 0. You can only use this effect of Synchron Carrier once per turn. So this is pretty much putting you in a position to where you should be able to get at least one synchro monster out pretty much on the first turn. Get that tuner monster that you need out. Primarily, it's going to be like Junk Synchron, pretty much. Considering that this build is like pushing you to use level 5 synchro monsters, or to get out level 5 warrior synchro monsters out on like the first um, turn, or out as soon as possible. And with this, you have the potential to get it out on the first turn. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So Synchron Carrier, a very helpful little guy in getting it out. Um, and again, with like Junk Warrior's effect, and I just now thought of this, because I believe it special summons monsters that are like, it special summons a monster from that's like level 2 or lower. Um, when it gets synchro summoned, so you'll be able to get this right back on the field, or any of the level 2, or any monster that you use that's level 2 or lower. And I believe Junk Warrior, like, it gains an attack boost from having like a level 2 or lower monster on the field, right? So yeah, like you'll be able to get this monster right back on the field, and you'll be able to have it for future use. Plus, it goes towards the attack boost for Junk Warrior. So yeah, like Junk Warrior would be the main focus if you're to synchro summon something out early. So let me see. I think everything else is like old. So yeah, so those are all the new cards in Junk in in the structure deck Synchron Extreme. So pretty good deck, man. Pretty good deck. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It has everything that you need. I don't think there's any more cards that are going to be revealed before next Saturday when the deck gets released in the OCG and on Dueling Network for people to use. Swift Scarecrow. Um, yeah, man, that's it. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. The only thing I was pretty confused about was Stardust Warrior, but then again, there's probably some monsters already in the game that can take care of what cards you would use to get out what, or you know or whatever it was I was confused about when I was doing that card review of it. But nevertheless, man, it's a good structured deck. I like what they're doing with it, and it's looking like something that we can all look forward to. Um, so with that being said, again, I don't know when it's coming to the TCG, if it comes to the TCG at all, because they might just bring the new cards in like a different booster pack and make that booster pack a what the fuck did I just step in? Oh, a TCG exclusive, and yeah, so looking good. So thank you guys for watching this structure deck review on Synchron Extreme and all the new cards that will be coming into the game via Synchron Extreme, and I can't wait till its release date. So until next time, peace.